What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. CLT Aviation 13 here with another 1 to 400 scale collection video. As I mentioned back in April or May, we like to do these about twice a year, just depending on how things are. Obviously, it's a lot easier since I'm back home now. I can have a little bit more time to get all the airplanes out from the shelves, the boxes, and all that stuff. And put together this video for everyone just to give an updated showing of my model 1 to 400 collection. But with that being said, it's been a while since we've done the video. There's been a lot of changes, and a lot of planes that you may have seen in the previous video are not going to be in this one. Just kind of sold a lot of dead weight in the collection over the summer, just to help fund current and future projects. But a really exciting video. Obviously, with a lot of planes being gone, there's going to be a whole lot of new airplanes in this video. I think you guys are going to really appreciate. As always, if you're so kind to do so, it really would help the video and the channel out if you did consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate that. But again, thank you so much for stopping by for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. All right, everyone, we have a lot to get through today, so we're going to start with the American Airlines row, and then followed by US Airways, and then we'll zoom our way all the way back down, and then we'll hit up JetBlue there, and then just keep going through the motions of all the planes. And at some point, we'll end at a Delta 747 at some point. So we'll go ahead and start with the three American Eagles. We have the Embraer 145, the Embraer 170, and the Embraer 175 with the enhanced winglets. Hopefully, sometime, maybe this time next year, I could have this filled up with CRJ 900s from Gemini Jets, but that's probably wishful thinking on my part. Then we have the lone Embraer 190. This was I wish Charlotte got a little bit more of these in the American era, but we saw them every so often. They were really cool to see. Next up, we have a lot of A319s coming up. We have the Aero Classic 319 right here, followed by, I believe, 5 Gemini Wing Fence 319s. And then for the last one, it'll be the Sharklet A319. That was a very recent pickup. And next up, like I said, a lot of changes to the collection. I got rid of these 320s. I had one additional CFM and then 2 of the IAEs, but I was able to sell them this past summer because I just don't think they're awful models. And we don't really, we get maybe about 45 320 flights a day, but I don't know, I'd just rather sell them and get a little bit of coin back for them. But there's that lone 320. And then we got the CFM 321, and then followed by 2 of the NG model Sharklet A321s. And then for the ending the 321s, we have the Neo, which was also picked up this year. Really nice plane. Next up, the 737s. These will be the 3 NG model ones, followed by the OG Gemini Jet 737. And then you got the One World, followed by TWA. And then one of the fan favorites, the American Airlines MD-80. This is a really cool plane. I wish I picked up an extra one just to have like a minted version, but I keep everything in good shape, and it looks perfect still. Just would be nice to have another one just for good measures. This was another really cool one. It's the Chrome American Airlines One World 757. Saw this in Charlotte one time back in I think it was 2014, maybe 2015. It was in a video, I just can't remember which one, but and then here's that current American Airlines livery 757. And we got the 763, and again, another recent pickup, that 787, followed by some American Airlines 330s. That was NG. These 2 are Aero Classic. And then, so I kind of put in an L shape for the American wide bodies and US Airways wide bodies. So you'll kind of see the other planes once we get to the rows. But as we make our way down the line, we'll start with these American 330-200s, then the US Airways one, and that's 7.6. And I don't even think I've shown you guys this one, but I picked these up in May of this year. This is the US Airways, that navy blue livery, and then the 757 from NG models. Really good pickups. Would like to get more of these, would like to get more of those models myself. US Airways 7.5s. And then we got a whole bunch of 321s. It's just funny because the 321s for US Airways was basically, US Airways in general was the whole foundation of the YouTube channel. So shout out to the 321s for putting in that work over the years. And then you got the 320s, whole bunch of 319s coming up. These are all special liveries. I have yet to pick up the normal livery, US Airways A319. For the OGs that remember the channel, I was always begging for the 319 in the standard colors back in the day. But then, of course, they release it, but it's after the merger was already announced. So there's really no point of buying as many as I wanted to. And I think just for the memes, I'll probably pick one up just to have one because I want one anyways because it is really nice. Two 734s. You got the 733s. Love these bottles, guys. CRJ 900s. These look so good on US Airways Express. Got the 700 and the CRJ 200, followed by the Dash and the Saab. Next up, this is going to be a very hefty section of JetBlues. That whole row is JetBlue, besides those couple wide bodies over there. Then obviously you're seeing some silvers on the right, but then we'll get through that whole second row, which is all JetBlues as well. So we got a lot to get through on this section. Start with our two Embraer 190s, got that barcode one in the blueprint. We got 3 Harlequins. This is, again, not really sure how many planes that I, made videos on. But these are all for classic T5, and Harlequin overall is always my favorite tail. So I picked up a couple extra ones. Stripes, this is another great tail. I mean, this is that OG tail, just like Harlequin. For those that aren't familiar with JetBlue, Stripes was their first ever Tailfin design when the airline started service back in 2000, February of 2000. So this is Mosaic, which is named after the frequent flyer program for, preferred members, the Mosaic status, I should say. And then window pane and dots don't get a whole lot of love. I actually really like these tails. If I had to pick like the least favorite, I would probably pick dots as my least favorite. But I really do like window pane. It was actually really nice to see. We got that Bubbles 320, and then the JetBlue R100th A320, followed by Plaid, which was a kind of a rare Tailfin design. It wasn't around for a whole while, but I think I only saw it in Vegas and then definitely JFK when I flew through there in like 2007. Couple blueberries, well, 3 blueberries, wing fence 320s, and then we got 2 of the sharklet ones. These actually turned out really nice. I really like the color of the tail. They did a really good job on that. Just besides, just the aesthetics of the gears, this is a really nice model. This is that good mold, just a shame the tail wasn't done correctly on that barcode. Just some really light shades of colors, just not as accurate. I mean, both of these colors, one on the left is Velocity models, and then the Gemini Jets on the right, they're both not, they're both wrong, so but we still got them in the collection, of course. 2 high rises. This is something that really needs to be picked up on. I need to get some additional high rise aircrafts, especially for T5, considering how many high rise airplanes JetBlue has. It's insane. 2 Tartans. These are Velocity. These turned out really, really nice. I love these 2 Tartan 2.0s. They're looking good. You guys always kind of morphed into this row right here, but we got the 330-200 and the 330-300, and then the American A330-300 as well. I'm going to slide up here, and we're going to catch these guys real quick, and then move back down to the next JetBlue row, starting with the A321 Neos. Now, unfortunately, the NG ones did not make the cut for this video. I anticipated them being in this video, but unfortunately they didn't get here in time. I didn't want to hold off the video any longer. So here's some Prism 321s. These are the Gemini Jet ones. The NG one should be popping up here in a second. Yeah, there it is right there. And again, some people kind of blew it out of proportion. I think this is still a really good model. But you can just tell with the lighting, because we have great lighting for today's video. You can just tell the Gemini ones is a lot darker green. I just prefer just accuracy, in my opinion. Not everyone has to agree with that, which is totally fine. But regardless, this is still a really nice mold that NG did. So I'm not trying to take that away from it. Next up, we have a bunch of paint schemes. So this is the Inspiring Humanity. And we got 2 I Heart New Yorks, 1 Gemini and then 1 Aero Classic. We got the New York Jets, and the updated New York Jets, and then the NYPD A320, followed by the two FDNYs, which are, Gemini on the left, Aero Classic on the right, Boston Celtics 320, Blue Rica, which is, I really want to see actually these two planes right here I haven't seen in real life yet. I can't wait to see Blue Rica. That is a really pretty plane. Same for the retro plane. That's a really cool one as well. Then get the Brooklyn Nets 320, followed by JetBlue Sharklet doing good. Two Vets in blue, Gemini on the left, Aero Classic on the right. And then you got a couple 10th anniversaries. Boston Red Sox 320. And we got the two silver ATRs. All right, next up, we'll do the Southwest row, which is, probably about 40% of it's Southwest, and then you got some Spirits at the end. And again, unfortunately, the Gemini Jet releases were delayed, and I didn't want to prolong this video, so the Spirit 320 Neos did not make the cut. But still a really, I think the last time we did a collection video, there was 3 Spirits, 3 or 4. No, there was 3, and now there's like 7. So there's still a nice little increase of Spirits. Not to drag too much time on this particular aircraft, but this is a really special plane. My grandparents flew it back in 2000. I think it was 2000 when we picked them up in the airport in Jacksonville. I'm not sure if it was a particular registration, but I know it was a 735. But yeah, this was a great addition to add to the collection, more just because of its sentimental values. So that's that Shamu 735, followed by the Canyon Blue 735, and then the Canyon Blue 733. Got that Herpa 1-400, Shamu, the old Illinois one, Slam Dunk one. That's an awesome plane. That will always be one of the best. I can't remember if this one had the touch. Okay, no, I don't think it does. The Hogan Slam Dunk one had the basketball texture feel to it, so it actually kind of felt like a basketball, which was really cool. Yeah, this one doesn't. I actually never was sure. I didn't remember if it did or not. Canyon Blue 737. Got that Florida 1, and then the Canyon Blue 738. And this is probably the biggest part of the update for Southwest collection part, is all these NG model 738s, and then that lone Max 8 that I've had. Here's the 3 Spirits. These are the ones I've had forever. There's the crayons, got the digital. I should have them flipped, should have meant to have digital here and then crayons there, but you get the point. Then that 320 Gemini. And then next up we got 3 Spirit NG 321s, and then 2 of the Gemini ones. A couple Sun Countries, got the old livery. Would love to pick up the NG 738 old livery. I kind of missed out on that opportunity. But I did pick up that new one, as you can see. We got a couple Allegiance, MD, and the 75. And then we got the Trump Shuttle 752, Continental 753. I know we hit that already. So we'll go ahead and start up with the One World 777. And then the recent American 777 release. And then there's another one as well. And then rolling with our Deltas. So just a quick little note, I didn't put the Delta heavies, near these Delta narrow bodies. I was kind of trying to stack all the US Airways and Americans together. If you note the top of your screen, we will get to that at some point. I got those Delta heavies sitting up there. So anyways, we have the 753, SkyTeam 752, and then the standard 75, the non-winglet 75. And then next up, we got 4 A321s. The first one will be the thank you. The next 3 will be the standard 321s, which turned out, and they were awesome. Delta A320, Delta A220-300. So nice to have this in the collection. I can't wait till Gemini makes the JetBlue one. It's going to look awesome. Delta 319. And then that new SkyTeam. Again, those November releases didn't make it, so no standard 738s in today's video. That just means the next collection video we do next year is going to be a banger. Delta 737, MD-90, MD-88, 717s. Moving on to the Uniteds, we'll start with the Star Alliance, and then go to the new livery, followed by a 320, and then a new livery. Those 319s in there. And then we got the Embraer 175s to finish off this row. All right, we'll go ahead and start with our Air Canada planes. We have the CRJ 200, which is that Air Canada Jazz, and then the Air Canada Express Embraer 175, and then followed by our little Alaska section. We got the CRJ 700, and we got a Horizon Q, and then 2 Embraer 175s, that Alaska Statehood 737-400, one of my favorite special liveries, really good model. 2 old livery 737s, got the 800 and the 7. And then you got the All Blacks and the Salmon 738. And then that new livery 738. And then just one of the OG favorites, the Disneyland 739. Got a Virgin America A320, followed by a Volaris 320neo. One of my personal favorites, the Independence Air A319. And then our Frontiers, we got 3 of them. We got Jack the Rabbit, Orville the Cardinal, and Otto the Owl. Followed by WestJet, and then our Swoop 737-800, our LOT Polish Airlines 735, Qantas Link 717, and got a nice little Scandinavian section coming up for you, CRJ 900, which is one of my favorites as well, very rare model, and then this Phoenix 737, 2NG model A321s, and the A330-300, and then the Scandinavian 350, the Azul A330-900 Neo, and the British Airways 777. Starting with our 1 to 400 section for the collection video, we have the DC-930, and then we have the Elton John 717, and then a whole bunch of new livery 717s. Just by the way, 2 of these are different registrations. So this one right here is the most recent one they released. And then this is the first edition they released. So just, you know, if you were curious, there was 2 editions that they did release. Atlanta Falcon 717, got the Orlando Magic, which is one of my favorite, probably the favorite AirTran special livery. I wish someone was able to make the Milwaukee Brewers. That was a really good one. Trying to think of some other, like the Colts was not bad. Hated the Ravens, hate the team, hate the Ravens playing. Both were awful. But yeah, they had some really good paint schemes. We got some 737s, and then moving on to the Swiss narrow bodies, 320, 321. Got the KLM narrow bodies, got the 300 and the 700. Then we got the Icelandair 752, the Finnair A321, and the Aer Lingus A321neo, and the 757 Aer Lingus, and the Hawaiian Airlines 717, and then the 767-300 in that old livery. All right, so this will be the true beginning for the wide body section. I know we hit a few of them earlier, you know, those Americans and the US Airways, and a couple, you know, Scandinavians and Azuls. But this will be the true wide body section. I think there's only one narrow body, which is like a FedEx 75. But everything for the rest of the video will be the wide body 1 to 400. So we'll start with one of my favorites, the One World BA 747. Then we got the Air France 744, Alitalia A330-200. Got that new NG models A330-200, One World Qantas A330, and then 2 Aer Lingus. We got the new livery, followed by the old livery, which I feel like I mention every video, but I will always like the old livery better. Got the Finnair One World 343, and then the Angry Birds 343, KLM 333, and the Swiss A330. Got the ANA Star Wars 789. It's one of my personal favorites right off the bat. And then the JAL 788. And then the Qatar 787. Emirates Triple. And then next up we got our cargos, UPS MD-11, FedEx MD-11, MD-10, and then the FedEx 752, which I noted at the start of the wide body section. For the final part of the video, we will start with the Charlotte Air National Guard C-17. And again, hopefully next time we do a collection video, which again, I like to do these about twice a year now that I'm back home. Hopefully next time you see a collection video, there'll be about at least 2 or 3 more Charlotte C-17s. That'll be the goal. One of my personal favorites, the Lufthansa section, have the A330-300, followed by the 350, old livery, and then the new livery 350. Then we got this is just the total OG of the, if I had to give you one wide body OG for my collection, this is it right here, that 346 by Lufthansa. That's been like the staple for my Charlotte videos when it comes to Lufthansa. So mad respect to that airplane. Very good to have it still. Lufthansa 744. And then you got the 748, 748i. Got some Virgin Atlantics. Hopefully get another one of those soon. Would love to get that 789. I think it's under that future release from Gemini Jets, if I'm not mistaken. But here's a 330, and then the A340-300. And to end the video for today, we have our Deltas. And again, the 350 just didn't make, there's a lot of planes that didn't make the cut, and they'll probably arrive next week. So it's unfortunate, but there'll just be a lot more planes in the next collection video. We'll start with that Delta 763, and then the Delta A330-200, A330-300, and you have that 777LR. And last but not least, kind of funny to save this one for last. I was very fortunate enough to fly a 747. Wasn't to like one of your, luxurious type destinations. It was between Atlanta and Minneapolis. But looking back on it, I'm very blessed that I had the opportunity just to fly the 747, especially with everything going on in the world. If I didn't fly it back then, there's no way I'll be able to fly it now, just with the trend of where those planes are going. I mean, it's just very highly unlikely for myself to get an opportunity again. So really glad I was able to fly the Delta 744 ATL MSP. And but yeah, it's really nice to end that video, or this part of it with the 747.
All right, everyone, that just about wraps everything up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my updated 1-400 scale collection, and if you stuck around to the end of the video, I hope you saw some really cool planes that were embedded in today's video. And a huge shout out to everyone who joined me in the live premiere. Hope you guys had a fun time hanging out for a little bit today, and hope you had a fun time chatting and everything. If you're watching this video before Christmas and New Year's, I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and a safe and Happy New Year. All things considered, going into 2021, it cannot get any worse than 2020, so we can only go up from here. Just keep that in mind. But anyways, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see everyone in the next video. Take care.